Now, just like all of you, I went nuts when I saw the new trailer. The dark setting, new enemies, cool looking locations, and more really got me excited. It is everything I ever wanted and more so far. But after watching the trailer and analyzing it for a bit, I realized something. Most people think the trailer is still quite vague and doesn't explain a whole lot about the game's story. But personally, I don't agree with this. After looking at all the trailers again and again and again, I think I know what's going on and what will actually happen in the game. And I am pleased, to say the least, because it will do something that most of us never expected, but always wanted from a Zelda game. So let's dive into the new trailer as well as the old ones, so I can explain all of you the story of The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Well, according to me. But first, introducing my new store, Wily.gg, the place to buy your new games and get your hands on eShop cards for Nintendo as well as Xbox. And don't forget, use code Wily at checkout to save 10%. Now let's continue. Alright, let's start from the beginning, the end of Breath of the Wild, because after beating Calamity Ganon, we actually get quite an interesting cutscene. Here, Link and Zelda are overlooking the world of Hyrule, and Zelda says Divine Beast Varuta stopped working, and she then says, let's investigate the situation. Now I expect this is when the sequel basically starts. They go to the Divine Beast to look into the situation, and here they find that someone has been messing around with it, and after looking more into it, they find the entrance to the Zonai-like cave that was seen in earlier trailers. Now obviously, before going down into the depths, they prepare for the journey ahead, and that's why they have that cow-like creature loaded with supplies with them. Now as they go through these cave structures, they come across ruins of an old civilization from a time long ago. You can see cave art of Ganondorf ruling over the world and conquering all he can get his hands on. And then they come across Ganon, locked up by people long ago in order to solve the problem of the endless cycle where Ganondorf, the princess, and the hero are reborn. The curse that was placed on the world by the Demon King Demise. But after seeing this corpse that is leaking malice, Zelda and Link decide to do something about it. Now after touching him, Link gets a vision and he is released from his trap, and malice starts to flow out of him at a rapid pace. Now even though Link does have the fully powered up Master Sword, he can't do much as the malice damages it and his arm. Then it comes for Zelda as the ground breaks and she falls away. Now at that point, the malice tries to take care of Link, and so, seeing that he has no other option, he decides to jump after Zelda to escape and hopefully save her. Now personally, I even think there's a good chance that she dies due to this, and she reincarnates once again into the being we see later on in the trailer, reaching for Link's hand. But I'm not 100% certain on that one yet. Now as they fall down, they hit the ground and are knocked out cold. Meanwhile, Ganon wakes up and gets to work, because this whole time he has been building an army big enough to conquer Hyrule, and in the new trailer we see this new army. Heck, we can even see Ganon lifting Hyrule Castle to let his army out. He uses the Blood Moon to summon more monsters, and even calls upon his servants to take over the world in a voiceover. And one of the main reasons why I think he has been building an army all this time is due to the sabotage at the Divine Beast, as well as the shot of the moblin mining for resources. You can hear this is happening underground, and so I think Ganondorf has been building a secret army underneath Hyrule this whole time. Now in the end, Link and Zelda can't do much about the situation, and so they have to basically flee, while the world kind of turns into Mordor from The Lord of the Rings. So in a lot of ways, the story of Tears of the Kingdom is similar to Breath of the Wild, but a million times worse. This truly is the downfall timeline at this point, and we know Ganon has done stuff like this before, but we never witnessed it. Heck, before the events of the Wind Waker, a similar thing happened when the hero didn't show up, and we also saw this when Demise came to the world of Hyrule for the first time. In that game, it is even stated that the Demon King and his demonic horde rushed out of a fissure in the earth. which we are seeing in Tears of the Kingdom as well. Now obviously Link's arm is fixed, and he gets help from the Sky people who actually pull the same trick as the one that we saw in Skyward Sword. When Demise attacked the people of Hyrule back then, they were sent into the sky to live on special sky islands. And I think this will happen once again. I mean, Ganon's invading army is massive while the hero doesn't have the Master Sword and is wounded. So really, there's no other option than to hide and buy as much time as possible, just like we saw in Skyward Sword. Obviously, in the meantime, Ganon gets to terrorize the world. And unlike Breath of the Wild, where the world kind of forgot and moved on, this isn't possible now. Sure, guardians and monsters were annoying for citizens of Hateno Village, but this time there's no way around it all. Heck, in the beginning of the trailer it even looks like the village is on fire. So I bet most people there actually didn't survive. And so when Link returns to the world below, after defeating many different contraptions found on the Sky Islands to test him on his skills and powers, we get to free the world once again. After the dark reign of Ganon, we have to save Hyrule from this depressing situation. The world looks like the Dark World from A Link to the Past after all. And so we head out on our quest to bring light to the darkness, while using new Zonai powers to achieve this goal. You will free villages, save Sheikahs and Hylians who are hiding, and eventually defeat Ganon himself, all while trying to restore the Master Sword to complete your quest. And the horrors you will face are gonna be insane. The monsters are fully powered up due to the return of the Dark Lord, and as you can imagine, they destroyed all the shrines, towers, and divine beasts to fuel their war machine. In a lot of ways, I imagine it to be similar to Isengard from Lord of the Rings. In that movie, a wizard turns to the evil side and creates an army. Now, to do so, he chops down every tree, runs the furnaces 24/7, and will use anything he can get his hands on to make new weapons and train more troops. Personally, I expect that Ganon will be doing the same thing with Hyrule, while Link and Zelda are away. Now, this is my take on the story of Tears of the Kingdom. It will be a game that is even darker than Twilight Princess, and we will finally see the outcome of a dark timeline, which we have never really seen before, because even if Ganon won, there was always someone there to save the day from complete disaster, as seen in Breath of the Wild. But this time, it's not the case, and I'm all for it, because as all of you know, I love the darker Zelda games, and stuff like Berserk. My favorite Zelda games are Majora's Mask and Twilight Princess, which are some of the most haunting titles in the entire franchise. So as you can imagine, I am incredibly excited, and I can't wait to make more videos on it and get my hands on the game. So be sure to subscribe, because more videos are coming, and let me know what you think of my take on the game's story. Am I right? Am I wrong? What do you think will happen? Leave it all down below. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I am thoroughly excited for this game. I really am. I kind of lost a lot of excitement after the gigantic drought, just like a lot of other Zelda fans. I could see it in like the views and like the amount of interest for Tears of the Kingdom. But this new trailer has given us quite a lot, quite a cool things, from new enemies to dragons to entire worlds, like all kinds of stuff. So I'm super excited. Let me know what y'all think down below, and I got like 3 other videos down the pipeline that are gonna come, so get excited. Yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I love you. Bye. Mwah. Little kiss to get you, to tide you over now that you have to wait like 90 more days, just like me. We're in hell. Hell.